Welcome to Wclm 1450 AM radio, another take of personalities, and today we're going to have the one and only Mr. Preston T. Brown. Here is the still shot of Mr. Preston T. Brown. The next voice you hear will be that of the man who is so visionary and creative, Mr. Preston Brown. Welcome. I want to thank Mr. Preston Brown for giving me this opportunity to interview him. He's a personality that I felt that you, outside of Richmond, need to see and be aware of. He is an impact player. Mr. Preston Brown, how you doing?
Fine, fine.
All right. I want to go ahead and let you give your own autobiography. I know you write books.
You ain't got that much time?
Oh, we'll have enough time to just touch on how, and there you can see Brother Chocolate Chip.
Come and get some more music.
Staying on the job.
Music legend.
Because you've done so much and the impact that you've made in this particular community. Most recently, you getting the award from the city in reference to visionary. So that in itself is making us aware that you are an impact player. I know you ran for city council. You've written a book. What is it that you haven't done?
I haven't got rich yet.
Well, rich is in many ways.
Yeah, well, I'm rich in knowledge and experience and kindness and happiness. And also, you left out that I used to wrestle. I sang in a band. And I'm doing the same thing James Brown did. Phone ringing off the hook, as usual, but that's all right, they can wait.
What made you get involved in the radio station business? Because we know you also have an auto dealership and...
Well, in this particular station, what happened was the station was off the air and it came back. And it came back on, they were playing soul music. So I went to the station and I said, why don't you add some gospel? Because people in Richmond like gospel music. And they didn't want to do it in the beginning. So I offered to buy Sunday and play gospel music. And to make a long story short, I wound up running the station from a gospel program. Just being able to say, hey, we want to put some spirit, we want to put the Lord in what we do at least once a week. So that opened doors that, probably wouldn't have been open if I didn't try to do something for the community. So.
You get a lot of accolade from the community and how you allow the community to come in and get information out to help empower the community. What is your drive behind that motivation?
Well, it's a duty. We all have a duty to do what we can to make life better for everybody. And then part of having a radio station is it's supposed to be a community-based station where you're supposed to serve the community. Most of them don't, but I believe in having an open door policy and allowing everybody the freedom of speech. And being that black folks, in particular, don't have a voice, either in the community or in politics or just a voice at large. This is our only outlet. Back in the 60s, radio was the only outlet for the black race. If something was going on in the community or something was going to happen, you turn your radio on to find out what was happening. Those days are gone until we brought it back.
And with the new technology, of course, you being on World Wide Web, WCLMradioonline.com, has that really expanded you? Because I noticed on your talk shows you get calls from all over the United States.
That expanded, and then people are emailing and calling and say, this is the best radio station I heard in the country. There's nothing like it, which is the truth. And not only that, with the newspaper, we have a newspaper that we're not afraid to write the truth. And that just opened the doors for everybody.
And I noticed on this station, too, you have a lot of the politicians, since we were speaking of newspaper and the truth. You have politicians that do come through to reach out to your particular community, and it's a question that you've always raised that has always stayed with me, and that is that why do we elect officials and then they get there and do something different?
Right. Well, what I did with the politicians, they were coming in not to be a voice in the community. They were coming in to steal our votes. They would come during election time and make all kinds of promises, then you don't see them anymore. So my policy now is the hell with all of y'all. None of y'all can come. You want to buy sometime, you buy it. But as far as me giving it away like I used to, it's no more.
Yeah, because I know you've always been addressing and trying to get the city and officials to also, you know, invest into your company, because see, one of the other things that you do is you're so passionate in promoting self-sufficient within our own community.
Well, and then on top of that, you know, some of the reason why a lot of the politicians don't come back is because they lie and they make decisions that hurt the community, and they don't want to be put on the spot where they'll be questioned on why they made that decision or passed that bill. And they know if they come to this radio station, we're going to put them on the spot. And that's why they don't come. Because they're scared. And they lie to people. And it's a shame anytime that we have to elect officials, not just in our city, but all over the country. And then there's a question about their character once they get elected. Will they tell the truth? And then there's a question about their character. And that's a shame.
Do you like the idea of the premises is that the legislative work for us? So should we not?
Back that up. They don't work for us.
Well,
they work for them.
They should work for us, but underneath that premise, shouldn't we then write our own job requirements, and instead of them coming and telling us what they're going to do, that we position ourselves to state that this is what our community needs? Now, can you support this? Isn't that a better way of doing it versus them telling us?
Well, see what happens with politicians, they tell us instead of us telling them. And one of the downfalls with being an elected official, most of the qualification are maybe 125 people sign your petition. For the governor or bigger position is more people have to sign your petition. But in a local race, you get 125 people. You qualify. They don't ask you if you're a criminal or anything about your character. You got enough signatures, you can run. When you go for a job, they want to know your background, where you come from, where you've been, what kind of degrees you got. They ask you more about getting a job or either getting a credit card than they do when you run for office.
And in closing out on this first stage interview, and I'm going to be honored to have additional with you, what some of the things you see in the city that you think could make the community better, that we the people can do?
I think what I see, to be honest with you, and I'm not just trying to be funny, is to get rid of everybody we got and start all over. It's just like being in bankruptcy. You get another chance. You get rid of everything you got. You get what did you give you? Discharge. We get everybody discharged, and then we start all over, start fresh, and bring some new blood in, because some of that old blood needs to be transfusion.
Transfusion.
We need to get rid of everybody we got and start all over again.
And I want to close out on what is your thought on President Barack Hussein Obama?
Well, I voted for Obama. I think he's doing a great job, and I think everybody that voted for him should stand up and stand behind him now, because they'll pick him to death. Everything he do, they pick. And he was dropped in a situation where the country was at its worst, and he has the opportunity to try to bring it back and bring people together, and they should support Obama.
I want to thank you, Mr. Brown, because I do also know that you are sponsoring a health care rally that's about to happen to help support President Obama. So we will again want to thank you for all that you do for this community, and again we want to say continue to bless us, and we need to bless you.
That's a ripoff, and that's hurting the economy, and people are dying in the hospitals, people are dying at home because they can't get medication, and a lot of reasons we need medication because the food is all screwed up. They put all these chemicals in the food to make you sick. Then they give you medicines that help one problem and cause another problem. And talking with Dr. Edlow, most of the medicines that we take damage our kidneys. That's why so many people wind up on dialysis machines. So we're in the midst of a mess. So we got to figure out how to clean it up.
So we need you to stay tuned to Wclm 1450 AM radio, and don't forget to go on the internet, worldwide, which will be www.wclmradioonline.com, and continue to keep in contact with the heartbeat of the city of Richmond. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
And they call me the mouth of the South. If I smell it, I'm going to tell it.